Good evening, welcome. It is PTP, people to people, power to power, positive thinking people, real talk. My name is Rodney Grimes, and so I wanted to talk real brief today. I'm not going to be real long. Been paying attention to a lot of things going on around us. And my topic today, are we an endangered species? Are we an endangered species? And everybody that has a child, especially a young man, young male in their family, should be very interested in this conversation today, because it is important and it's imperative that we start to make a difference on how we are going to survive where we'll be in the next 10 years. Some strange things been happening around me, but that's okay. I'm a God-fearing man, and I just believe that I am my brother's keeper, and if God put it in my spirit to do something, I got to do it. So I say that to say, sometimes I'm a little leery to speak the truth because I know the power to be, and when I say the power to be, that's people who have control of things, can make my life difficult for me, probably could take my life if they wanted to, which we know that happened in the past with different people who step up and speak the truth or reveal things that certain individuals don't want you to talk about. But are we an endangered species? And it's important that we think about that because what's been happening now, we don't have answers to where this virus came from, how it came about, and looking at what's going on. It's certain people, and that's why I'll always say people to people, power to power, positive thinking people, because it'll cover so much with our everyday living. So certain people want certain people to live a certain way. Certain people want certain people not to have things. Certain people want people to do things when they tell them. Certain people want to be in control. Certain people don't want to see other people prosper. Certain people want then the power to possess other people, to take power from other people, to have the power to dictate, to have the power to eliminate, to have the power to incarcerate. We talking some real power. Also, then there's the power of the spiritual faith that some people will have, that shows who's really in control. And then we come to the positive thinking people, which I consider myself to be a positive thinking individual. Sometimes I get a little bit too involved. So yes, I have a very, very calm spirit, but a very serious one because I've been doing a lot of reading and watching a lot of documentaries and just evaluating what's going on with this virus. This has been an eye-opener for me. I don't know for how many other people, but you should be really, really paying attention on what's going on around you and wondering where you're going to be in the next 10 years. Where are your children going to be in the next 10 years? Especially the males. I mean, there's so many of us that are locked up, so many of us that are uneducated, so many of us. When I say uneducated, I was just looking at the way that a lot of young males were dealing with this virus. They walking around like it's nothing wrong. People are dying. People are dying. Matter of fact, I got to stop for a minute because I got to send my condolences to the Harrison family. They lost a family member. She lived a good life, and I'm not going to say her name because that's not my place to really put it out there, but they did lose someone that was one of the elders in their family. So I send my condolences out to the Harrison family. Actually, I'm somewhat related to them, so it's my family too, for real. And I know that they're feeling the loss. And then again for the Bells family as well. Again, because we know that with this virus and everything, we can't celebrate the homegoing to our friends and family members who have passed on because of this virus. And so it's been a real heartbreaking experience for many of us. And that's why it's so important that we pay attention to what's going on. I got some questions, are we the new guinea pigs? I mean, we've been the guinea pigs for a long time. What do we do to change it? Do we really care what's happening? Are you aware that your grandchildren are going to be set up for different things that you have no idea what the outcome is going to be and how they're going to be able to live their lives? Will they be able to live it being able to be their own individuals? I welcome Rachel, Desi and Troy, Kathy McKnight, Tay and Sam. I welcome. So, and I know not long ago somebody told me, said, Rodney, don't be so serious all the time. I'm just keeping it real. It's real talk. And I'm trying to get people to get to a point like, how many leaders are we preparing for our tomorrow right now? How many leaders are we building up? Look, they got statues all over the place of people who have done things similar to what I've done when trying to take a position and be a leader in their community or in their time of life, right? And I don't, when I lay down beside my wife, sometimes my wife look at me because I have problems sleeping sometimes because my mind is just going, but I be thinking about what's going on with all our young men, really. How many of us have lost sons to just careless crimes? Careless crimes. How many of our sons have been locked up for just little tiny reasons? And we can see certain people commit these major crimes and get away with them. And then when we look at where we are today, how much information was given to all our young people to have it so that they really took this serious. We had so many people that died, and they weren't reporting all the deaths, I'm sure. Come on. We are not naive to the way things are going in this country or in the world. Our responsibility is up to us to make the changes, to be aware. Are we the new guinea pigs? Are we still the guinea pigs from yesterday? And are we the guinea pigs for tomorrow? And where will we be in the next 10 years? Okay? We need to know what's going on, and we need to make changes. Real talk. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I have a lot going on around me. My mom is like, so it's talking to my mom, we had a real serious conversation yesterday. And I was just, when I look at her, I feel like I'm supposed to stand up and don't be afraid to live and do what's right, because I know that she made a lot of sacrifices for me to be where I am today. And then, so I was thinking about her, and my mom's 89 years old. Then I realized that me getting ready to turn 60, that I'm responsible for my grandchildren and my children to try to get to this level. And again, so I started thinking, are we aware of what's going on around us for real? And are we willing to make sacrifices to make a change? How many of us going to stick together and come together to try to make a change for tomorrow to make it better? And you just got to look at the truth. I got a lot of people there that tell me, man, you're wasting your time. Well, you know something? I mean, I got nothing but time right now. That's what I have. But more so I have in my spirit take my position to do what God has put in my spirit. And I'm afraid for my grandsons. I'm wondering what will be going on in the next 10 years when I'm 70 years old, and the next 20 years when I'm 80. I mean, what's going to be going on in their mind? How will they be conducting themselves? And what is it that we need to do to make the difference? You know, when you think about changing your health habits and your spiritual habits, is it just for you? Is it just for you? Or do you do it to think about other people? Are you that selfish? Are you that selfish person that is all about you? You don't care what happens tomorrow, as long as you eat today? Do you care if your children are going to be some new guinea pigs for testing to find out what will kill us and what won't? It's important for us to be aware of what's going on around us. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I'm just at a point that I know that we have to make some changes together. I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by yourself. We got to do it as a unit. And we got to be real serious about helping each other move forward, to stand up, to stand for something and not fall for anything. Check into your health. Check into the education of your kids. Okay, how many of you are really thinking about this situation and got your kids at home or your grandchildren, and are you educating them without them being in school, or are you just giving them some computers to play games on and letting them be on their cell phones and lay around the house and do nothing? But are you really trying to empower them with some positive thinking? I would like to welcome Malik, Felicia Coleman, Cheryl Henderson, Wendy Belt. I don't know if that's Orienta, Mays, and Tawana Sayo. So, what I'm saying, also I have to give condolences out to my very dear friend, Joe Coleman. He lost his mother-in-law, and my condolences goes out to him and his wife. Anytime anybody loses anybody, it's serious. I don't care if you think that they were supposed to die or they was getting ready to die. Also, my wife lost a good friend as well. What's her name?
Sadie.
Sadie.
Sadie. Just Sadie.
Well, I'm not going to say the last name, but just Sadie. It was one of my wife's good friends, a co-worker, who died from died this morning from the virus. Man, I heard some news about one of my friends I grew up with who just died. I'm not going to say his name, but they're not even able to embalm him because of this virus. Did y'all know that they're not embalming some of the bodies now because of certain reasons with this virus? But yet they just get ready to tell us that we can get ready to start going back out. Be careful. The question I asked, are we the new guinea pigs? How many of you is going to be going out there running around with no masks on and going to see what's happening? I just want to see, because it won't be me. I'm going to continue to wear the gloves. I'm going to continue to wash my hands. I'm going to continue to wear the face mask until I see many, many, many people walking around and they're not having this problem with people dying. I will not be the guinea pig. And I will continue to tell my young family members to take care of themselves and be careful. We got the young people walking around like the disease ain't gonna bother them. But guess what? The disease really may not bother them right away, but it's killing our elders. It's killing them. We're not even taking into consideration that we, the couriers, bring that to our elders. And then they die. When they could have just a little bit more time to enjoy life, the gift of life from God. Don't be the guinea pigs. And think about where we're going to be in the next 10 years. How many of us going to really support each other? Okay, let me see. Transitioning to work from home as well as homeschooling has been training. Is that training or tiring? Trying.
Trialing.
Oh, trialing. It takes a village, and luckily I have, our county has helped us, help our children. Hey, Sam, let me tell you something. Right now, while you're homeschooling, this is the time for you to be installing in your child exactly what you want him to know. And that's any parent. Instilling in him the positive thinking so that they will be productive citizens, knowing how to treat other people and treat themselves. I'm not saying don't teach them the algebra and the reading and the history or whatever the curriculum is that they're telling you to teach them, but this is the time for you to do that, to make sure that they understand the importance of you as a parent and what you have to go through to survive and what it's going to take for them to survive. Where it's going to be in the next 10 years. We were not prepared for this. We were not prepared for this. And I don't know what's going to happen. Let me tell you something. If people don't, you better sit back and think. What's going to happen when the weather change and it start getting cold again? Your body start to changing. This virus popped up. I don't know if they're going to have a vaccine. Do they have a vaccine? Will they share it with everybody? Will they be testing people with it? Man, we gotta prepare ourselves. I say that to say, so whatever you teaching your children right now, you need to teach them to be smart, to be thinkers, and not to get caught up in this craziness, leaving them on computers, letting the computers teaching them about killing and destroying each other and manipulating each other. We gotta watch that, and that's all of us. It says, thank you for this strong topic today, Rodney. It is hard sometimes. It is. It's hard to deal with the truth of the matter. We got guys out here that's dying left and right. We got so many in jail unnecessarily. We got a lot of us that, we forgot how to be fathers. That's why I wanted to know, are we an endangered species? We got to a point where sometimes we don't even know how to talk to each other. Good afternoon, bruh. Exactly. I keep my mask and my gloves on. That's right, my brother Ken. You keep it on. You keep it on. Now, something I told some people the other day, I said, don't start going nowhere till they open up the golf courses and the tennis courses and stuff like that. Well, this morning, I heard that they getting ready to start opening them up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, the golf courses and that. Let me tell y'all something. Okay, you still better take a chill pill. Take a chill pill. Hey, I know you got to do what you got to do, but keep yourself safe. Keep yourself safe. I like the Letty Carr, Vanessa Goodrum, my brother Kenneth, Jean McBride, Anita Gray, cousin, JJ, or the wife from South Carolina, JJ. Annette. Oh, that's Annette. Okay. Yes. How you doing, cousin? God bless you. Again, when I'm asking you, are we an endangered species? Think about it. Think about what's going on. Look around. Let me tell you, back when our ancestors was fighting for civil rights and certain things and trying to give us the privileges that some of the privileges we have today, have really much changed? Yes, a lot's changed. A lot's changed that we are killing ourselves just at a rate that's unbelievable. And not just physically. We're killing ourselves with the drugs, with the abuse, with the lack of support, the lack of understanding, the lack of education, the lack of the spiritual growth within us. We losing the battle all the way around. And sometimes you can't just point the finger. Because when you point the finger, remember there's 3 of them coming back at you. So you have to step up and make some changes in your life and change the way you're going about things and change the way you educate your other people around you that's going to make a difference. My granddaughter was here the other day. She dropped some cereal on the floor. Her grandmother told me when she went in the kitchen, she said, oh, so-and-so must have dropped the cereal on the floor, but my granddaughter didn't tell me. So she told me, oh, well, don't say nothing. Wait. I said, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to call my granddaughter and I'm going to tell her what she did was wrong. I have to take my position to guide her and make sure that she's aware. I'm not waiting to tell her that what she did was wrong. When she dropped the cereal on the floor and didn't tell me and left it up under the table and she didn't get it all up. Now I understand she's young. Okay, but at the same time, I'm gonna give her some young wisdom to hold on to. I told her, when the next time that you drop something, I don't care what it is, or if you break something or whatever, you gotta tell me. Because what could happen is by all that laying on the floor, then we can get roaches and mice and some other things. Now, my point to telling you was to just educate her, to let her know these are the right things to do. We've gotten to the point we let the kids raise themselves. We're not telling them that you're an endangered species. If you look around, how many of them are going to jail? How many are on drugs? Man, they walking around smoking stuff that they don't even know what's in it. And that's been going on for years. Okay. Which is this? Bleachers and state parks. Oh, beaches. The Maryland beaches and state parks are opening. People, enjoy yourself, but be protected. Okay? Let me tell you this. Enjoy yourself, that's fine. All I say is be safe. You know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm just conscious because I don't want nothing to happen to my mom. I don't want nothing to happen to my grandchildren. I don't want nothing to happen to my wife. I don't want me to be sorry that I brought something home that right now they can't tell me how this thing went about. And I don't know who's, you know, trying to make this happen. I don't know. So I have to be careful. So if they opening up everything and people want to run out and start to get in, you know, hey, you do what you do, but you need to be careful. You need to be careful because it is very, very important that you protect yourself and be aware of what's going on. That's crazy.
About the beaches.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Malik, bruh, I already know, man. That is crazy. I mean, when we think about it, we got to watch. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Hey, Rachel, how you doing? Wait a minute. Yeah, you got to speak up.
I said, I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I am. Wait a minute. Maybe it's something we got to do on this end. I'm feeling pretty good.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Is it on speaker?
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay. So we can hear you clear. You don't have to speak loud now.
We good now?
Yes, ma'am. We are.
Okay. I was listening to you, and you know how I always pick up your vibes.
Yes.
And I want to, you know how people say piggyback, but I'm going to say veggie back.
Okay.
I want to veggie back what you were saying concerning about the children
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
And those who have those children in their presence had a situation of someone that had to go take care of, well, let's say babysitting some children today. And the children was out of hand, and the person who was there was responsible to correct them their way. They felt like doing the right way. But the person who's in charge of parenting, they don't discipline them. That's why they run around loose and doing whatever they feel like doing, like they're adults. and the person came home, and the person confronted the other person, and it's like, hey, look, if I'm the one being here responsible to take care of these kids, somebody needs to put them in place and do it the right way and correct them. This is not what you do, throwing things around and da-da-da-da-da-da. Because if you don't correct them now when they're young, when they get older, you got a lot of stuff to deal with because they're going to take over you. So, yes, you are correct pertaining to correcting the child now. That this is the stage of them learning and absorbing, paying attention to what the parents are doing and the surrounding and mimicking that. So you got to get a hold and put guidelines and discipline. What's good and what's not good, in your household. And so that when they grow up, they know the difference. But still, they're adults to know to do the right thing, or some of them will switch to do the wrong thing.
Really?
Based on their mindset, what they can get away with.
Well, that's why when I think about it and I ask, are we an endangered species? Are we really prepared, and are we preparing the young people and ourselves? Because you can still teach an old dog new tricks. And so I believe that even with myself, it's things that I need to learn and change about myself, but be smart about it. Let's not get, and see, that's where we are. We are at a point like we letting the kids raise themselves, and we are scared to discipline them and tell them, you can't do this because they're going to cry. My granddaughter, something else she did. She did something else that she shouldn't have did, and I immediately sat her down and corrected her. And I didn't yell at her and scream at her. I just told her the truth. And I told her what you did was wrong. And you shouldn't do that. And do you understand what I'm telling you? And so in my mind, I knew that it was necessary for me to be stern with her, for her to absorb the mistake that she was making, so that she wouldn't do it again. Now, she might do it with somebody else, but I'm sure she's going to think about it the next time she's with me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to do is prepare her for the next 10 years. I'm trying to prepare her not to be a guinea pig. I'm trying to prepare her to not to be an endangered species. Because if we don't make changes in the way we're doing things, we just look around and look at what's going on with the kids today. Hold on a minute. In the Ruth Brown voice, I will remain seated on it. Laugh out loud. Hey, Bernard, let me tell you something. I understand. This is in the Rodney Grimes voice. I'm going to remain seated too. You feel me? I'm going to take my time and I'm going to evaluate what's going on around me before I jump in. It's almost, Rachel, it'd be like this. It's almost like you'll tell everybody you having a pool party, right? But when people come, people are inside the house. Now you got 2 swimming pools, but you ain't telling what pool was open. But you know how people just start to run and they just start running and thinking they know what's going on without really checking. And then you had that 4 or 5 different people take off their clothes and start to running and didn't go check to see which pool had the water and taking and start to diving off the diving board before they know it. It's not even the right pool.
Right.
You done hit the bottom and then cracked your head open because you didn't take the time to see what was going on, to check to see which was the right direction to go, which right pool to dive into. Hold on one more. Let me see what this is.
Mm-hmm.
It says, or you neglect the child because you think the job or career is better. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. No, I know it does that. I don't know why. It sometimes when it just starts to jumping and and things
people
just
are writing in.
Yeah, stuff be going. People are responding. I'm trying to
3.
give you what?
Give you 3 gifted jobs.
Oh, give you 3 gifted jobs. And y'all excuse me because right now we sometimes don't know why I do this, but we'll get at a certain point, and then all of a sudden the computer start acting weird, and it be jumping in and out and all that. And I ain't saying nobody doing anything. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying.
It's all good.
It's all good. Teaching that
good.
old
Go with
dog
the flow.
new tricks is very. There it go again. What is it?
Hold on, how we get it back?
Teaching an old dog new tricks is very challenging when some old dogs and cats think they know everything. That's true too. That's true too. But that's why you know something, you got to be willing. You know what I tell people? You got to be willing to follow before you lead.
That's true.
You got to be willing to follow. See, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with asking people for their opinion. That's what I want you to do. Write your opinion. Tell me what you think. Because we got some old dogs that think they know everything.
Can I say something pertaining to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I heard on the radio Donnie Simpson and Tony Perkins pertaining to this old man walking to the grocery store without a mask. Old dude, I think it was 80-something, something like that. And the lady had stopped to address it. And the man just blew his nose into her shirt. And he was pissed. This old man, okay? When you can't teach new tricks. But it's a requirement now, Pops. Now, here's another thing. I posted this man being 106. And he shared some wisdom. I'm going to post another one pertaining to talk about coronavirus compared to what he went through 100 years before. Way worse than now, he say. But his thing was he don't take no medicine. His thing was he eat right and take care of himself.
See, a lot of people don't even know. Really, that's where it all starts. Even with, I want to go back to that person where they was talking about teaching the old dog new tricks. Some of them. Let me tell you what I do. I love talking to older people.
Yeah.
Even the ones that don't want to hear what I gotta say, cause they've been there, right? Now, what I do is somebody on here said something else. They said Trump can control the White House, but he can't control mine. We must think. Kathy, you are correct. We must think. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if the old dog don't want to learn a new trick. If he going to be under my roof, he going to roll over or something, or he ain't going to eat. Or he going to be going somewhere else, and somebody else going to deal with when he don't want to go with my program. And when I say that, that means that I'm trying to be a positive thinking person moving in the direction where I definitely know that as long as that dog can roll up, get up, and go make a poo-poo, and he can go drink some water and eat, I can teach him something. And that's what we need to continue to do. Segregation on another level. Hey, it is. Come on. You know when what Mr. Black said, it's all kind of ways to segregate people. You know that, right? And a lot of it is keeping the knowledge away from them, not teaching them the new tricks, not sharing your information, not willing to put yourself out there to be a leader, not willing to be a participator and be a follower. All of that matters.
You know what, Rodney? I heard you pertain to the leader. You were talking about that. Where are they today? And there's a young lady in Prince George County. I think I made a post on your page, and she's stepping up to the plate to be a judge for this county.
Right.
And the testimony is powerful. So there's a leader right there. The people who can step up to the plate and get in position to make the laws, make the rules for us to abide by, that is what we should move to if you have that opportunity to be in that position.
That's what
you need to do to get things turned a different way for our community.
Right. See, first of all, it's very important for us to vote. It's very important for us to get to know who we have in office. And it's very important for people in position to make the difference for people who are trying to do better, who are trying to learn more. It's important. So we have to do that. And I'm going to tell you, it really starts within our homes. It starts in our homes with our children. I'm going to tell you something. We got to get to the point where we do not allow the kids to walk outside and walk into this trap that's going to really disrupt their future. They will be an endangered species if we don't do something now. We're looking at what was going on. Just let's stop for a minute and think what was going on before this virus. We had remember not long ago, maybe a year or so ago, they had something they were smoking and they was falling out on the street. Do y'all remember that? Come on. This stuff here didn't just start to growing. They had marijuana back that you could smoke and you could go ride a bicycle and eat a whole pecan pie and then go play basketball. Now they got stuff that you smoke that if you smoke it, I saw one time, this was so crazy. And this is what I'm talking about when we got to be thinking and we got to really, really look at what's going on around us. I saw a girl at the metro that was smoking a joint and she could not let the pole go. And she was just holding on. It almost seemed like she was holding on for dear life. And this guy, this is my right-handed guy, came up and said, "Girl, let me hit that thing." And took it out of her hand and started smoking it too. Now, again, this is us. And we got to really, really watch how we're doing things and know that it's up to us to make a difference. It's so important for us to make a difference. Are we an endangered species? We got to think about our children. Sit down and talk to them about moving forward, educating themselves, knowing how to conduct themselves, especially the males. The males, man, I mean, we walking around, man, it's very, very few. How many of us understand about being fathers, about being big brothers? Okay? We gotta work on that. We gotta work on how we are educating ourselves at home. That's where it starts. Earlier, Sam said something about she's having to do the education at home. Let me tell you something. This is the time where y'all should talk to your boys and tell them about why they shouldn't be letting their pants hang down and letting their underwear show. Show them. Google it. Let them see where that came from. Give them some knowledge and understanding so that they'll know how to conduct themselves when they're in the public. Especially when you're trying to address another individual and you want to impress them. We got to make those changes. So it is very, very important for us to be aware of what's going on. Are we an endangered species? Are we the new guinea pigs? Where will we be in the next 10 years? It's important. And it's going to take some of us to take the positions to become leaders and try to do what is necessary to make a difference so that we'll be able to live better. Let me see. Okay. Critical thinking is always key. You're right. Critical thinking. Who said that? Danielle. Yeah, that's my little mentee. Yeah, you're right. Critical thinking is always key. And this is the other thing we got to realize. You know what? Not everybody's going to think the same way. Not everybody learns the same way. Not everybody eats the same way. But I can tell you this. One thing that you can do is you can take your time to try to be an example and figure out what is it to help them change in a direction that they will now see how to better themselves, to survive, and not run out here crazy. What's this? Common sense is a valuable resource. Hey, Bernard, my brother, I know it is. Free will is hard to have these days with some folks. I think should read the Solid Weapon. Under the rug. Okay. I'm having a headache to many political equations for one day. I total love them people.
Learn from people. Diversity is always key to substantial
Okay. It says I total love learning from people. Diversity is always key to sustaining living.
Substantial.
What is it?
Substantial.
Substantial living. Okay. It says, what's this here? My mother taught me no matter how old you are, you should learn something new every day. That is true. That is true. I'm telling you. Let me see. It happens. It happened in the home first when you swept stuff under the rug. Declare after decade after decade, change of structure is always important.
Yep.
Each one teach one.
Hey, there you go. Hey, I got somebody on here that's hot right now. Each one teach one. How about that? Isn't that's powerful. Come on now, hey, Danelle, I need you to call in. Danelle, I want you to call in. Can you call in? Danielle.
I'm gonna hang up.
Hey, Rachel, I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah.
What's this? Danielle? Danielle?
Duncan.
Oh, okay, Danielle Duncan. So, yo, Danielle, you need to call in. I want to hear from you. It's 301-793-7342. And let me welcome some of the guests that came in. I know what's that? Bernard, Liz, Janet, Royals, Roberta Jackson, Frank Mosley, Kim Campbell, Danielle Duncan, Kim Banfield, Eugene William Jr., Caree Brooks. Welcome. Yo, are we an endangered species? Are we? Are we the new guinea pigs? Where will we be in the next 10 years? It's important. Think about your kids. If you're not going to think about yourself, think about your kids. Because it's important. You know, my grandfather lived to be 91 years old. And I remember sitting on a porch with him. My grandfather died back in, it was, I think he died, he must have died before I went in the Marine Corps, I think. I can't remember. I know he's been dead a long time, but anyway. No, it was after I came. After I came out of the Marine Corps. Okay. He was still living. And so my grandfather would talk to me and tell me some things. And my grandfather was born in 1900. And it was funny how he would tell me different things that changed the way I deal with people today. Some of the things that he would tell me, I thought was just real powerful, the way that he would come across. Now, he had a lot of anger in him because you got to imagine he was born in 1900. He saw a lot of things happen. But he also told me a lot of positive things to help me change the way I think. Not to be running around bitter, but to just try to be better. You know? And so, you know, when you say each one teach one, yeah, that's what I do when I listen to different people when we have these conversations. I take the opportunity to say, yo, somebody is going to feel a little better today. Somebody's going to see something a little different. Somebody's going to change the way they're going about things. And somebody's going to take that opportunity to step in a position. Not all the time do you have to be a leader. Sometimes you be a follower. I remember many times you say too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Hey, you lose the war. Get you to call in. I ain't lose you, did you? Did I? Danielle. I keep saying Danielle. Danielle. Y'all got excuse me. This we got this monitor. Huh? Oh, you am I pronouncing your name wrong and that's why you won't call? I apologize. Anthony Parker, cousin from Georgia. Much love. Hey, we got a lot of people from out of state that's been really showing a lot of love, from Alabama, Georgia, from Texas, South Carolina, Baltimore, just not far from us, but we've been having a lot of people just been joining in, and I appreciate that. Anthony Parker, Reva Evans, Yvette Gardner, Mayana, and Ann Dury. Welcome, everyone. I'm telling you, what we have to do is take the time to look at everything that's going around. I want to say this again. If you have a son, talk to him. Talk to him. I don't care how old he is. My mom's 89 years old, okay? Yesterday, my mother gave me a good talking to. My mom, she puts in my head to continue to be a good person. She wants me to keep God in my life, but I be listening to some of the things that she be saying, and it just keeps me moving. I know I got a lot to learn. I got a lot of things I got to fix about myself, and I'm working on that. But I'm telling you right now, look at what's going on. It's up to you. When I say you, the people who are in position to teach one, to share your information. Share your information. So, we got people, what really gets me? Now, there's something else that I know too. We got a lot of people with this serious talk, this real talk that's going on right now. If I was on here talking about beating up somebody or robbing and stealing or committing some kind of crime or telling you where to get the hottest thing to take your mind to the left or the right, we'll get a lot of response because people are like, yo, man, that's crazy, blah, blah, blah. But we got to change that direction. And I don't mean to offend anybody. I just be saying this because I know how important it is for us to pay attention to our kids for the future. Because if this thing backfires and this virus comes back real bad again and they can't get it under control, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. We're going to be, look where our kids are. Look where they are now. Just think. So we need to wake up. So, this real talk, I appreciate everybody that joined in. I really take this real serious. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Welcome, Kimmy Kim. I keep trying to get you in. I don't know why you running, Kim. I need you. You're sharp. You're a sharp black queen. And I love what you be doing. Maybe I can get you again. I was trying to get you in on date night. I would love for you to do that. You and your husband, y'all inspire. I was watching y'all a long time ago, watching how he supports you and you support him, and you are a go-getter. You're an individual who's always active in the community, doing different things. So, believe it or not, it says each one teach one. I learned a lot from you as well. So, I appreciate you when you do join in. I hope that you feel comfortable, me crying out to you, because I think that you are a very, very positive individual. People to people, that's you. Because you deal with people. You're always giving to people. The power you possess, the power of giving of yourself. And you're a positive thinking individual. I've always just heard that. And I know that you've had some struggles in your life as well. But I know that what we do is we continue to keep fighting and moving forward, try to do the right things to change us and change things. I said I wasn't going to be long today, and I'm not. This is real talk with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Please, I ask for you to continue to pray for me. I ask for you to continue to be a leader for me. And I will follow you if you go in the right direction. And if you need me to help you go somewhere, let me know. I don't have no problem with help advertising for you. I also want to let people know, again, as soon as everything lifts up for the celebration of praise, we will still be doing the event. We have a lot of things, a lot of talent that's laid back to be coming out. So, just stay tuned for that as well. Again, I send my condolences out to the individuals who lost their family members. And like I said here, the Harris family that just lost them, they're related to me as well. Let me tell you something. God is in control. My friend Joe, I know you just lost your mother-in-law. I send out my deep sympathy to you, but God is in control. And we just continue to keep praying and just ask God to lead us. And then we keep working on our faith that we do the right thing. This is Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, positive thing, people. Hey, remember, go to YouTube and subscribe, okay? It don't cost you anything. You ain't even got to listen to the whole video. Go in there and just subscribe and hit like. Hey, what we trying to do is we trying to change the platform. I got some other things that I want to do. I got people I want to bring in, and I'm really, really excited. And I can't bring them into my house right now because of the situation. And I don't, some of these very lucrative people, I'm not really trying to get them on the phone. Before I go, I got to share something with you that a man said the other day. So you look at me right now. If I was holding the football, and somebody y'all might have saw this, he was talking about certain people, how things change. So if I was to hold in the football right now, what would the football be worth? Right? You'll probably say, oh, that's Rodney Grimes. He just holding the football. But what if it was Tyler Perry holding the football and he signed his name on it? What would the football become? What would it be worth? I'm trying to think. My mind is going right now. You can see I ain't a real sport guy, but I'm talking about when we talking about some professional situation where if it was Oprah, it was a vase, right? And Oprah signed on the vase. It's just a regular vase, and Oprah signed on and says, "Much love, Oprah Winfrey," right? How much would the vase cost? How much would it be worth? And then when I do it, how much is it worth? We look at that, and sometimes we get it confused. We don't know that the vase is just the vase. What we start to do is we start to pass in judgment on the levels of people, right? But what we should remember is we all are people, people to people. Okay? Remember that. Remember the power. The power, hey, if Oprah signed the vase and Oprah don't have any more money and we're not supporting her programs and her shows and all that stuff, that vase then start to become like just a regular vase. My point is, let's build together. Not look at it and say, okay, what am I doing and judging me right now. Look at where we can go. And if we can get it to a point where when I touch the football becomes something because you helped me get there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this is going. We got a lot of good things that's happening, and I just know that God got something planned for me. Okay, I do. And even if it came down that this virus was to get me, I can say this: I was trying to do my best to not to be a guinea pig, not to be an endangered species, and to figure out where I'm going for my future so that I can prepare for my young grandchildren so that they can see a difference. I think, let me see. Danielle.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? You called.
Yeah, I called. How you doing today? I was listening to your show. I was commenting with you on a lot of the perspectives you had. They were awesome, but I'm from that younger generation. Not that young because I was grown or raised with the group of villagers. So I have a big mind that's, a catalyst when you look at the picture as a smaller nest seed of a person.
But you know what? I love it. So right now, how are you looking at what's going on around? And I'm just speaking on this topic today.
Well, I have so many different views about it. You talking about the whole natural disaster that's going on?
Yeah, tell me about what you think about that, how we are dealing with it.
I can look at it in a negative and I can look at it in a positive way. And I'm going to do the negative way first because I like to end things off in a positive note.
How about that?
In a negative way, it brings, to certain standards of people, certain things that's been hidden or, people don't like to deal with inside, like family.
Right.
It's pushing certain, classification of people, of family away from each other, because then you have to deal with certain issues that you've been avoiding in so many ways. You know what I mean? And then on the positive note, I can see it as it's supposed to strengthen a selective or everyone in a national viewpoint.
Yes.
It gives, if you're paying attention and you're not looking at, oh, Trump giving me money. Trump then gave me $1,200. Trump then gave me $3,000. If you're looking at, because certain people look at green like their eyes can turn teal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Instead of looking at the trees that grow from the bottom of the barrel to the top of the world.
How about that?
So it's like, to me, it's two ways to look at it. But the best way I can say that I've taken a personal relationship from this advantage and took advantage of this situation, because I'm a social distance person from the beginning.
Okay.
Because, I don't like judgmental. You know what I mean? I don't like being judged, because I don't want to be judged at the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, critically thinking in my own self, it brought a lot of different awareness of things where I've seen certain relationships that I had with people, whether business, personal, or organized-wise. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Things that, I could bring attention to in a world view, because I'm that type of person that go live before there was a definite demand to go live. You know what I mean? Like, I was always on FaceTime. Like, this is Facebook. It's called Facebook because you can see your face, what you do here every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I took myself a little bit away from Facebook, but developed it in a different way where, I connected with certain people and separated my connection with certain people to be of a better business class. So I try to connect with people and that I haven't talked to from decades. Decades, 10 years to me. But, I try to make people look at a bigger picture. This is the time when we're supposed to be more family orientated than ever.
Yes.
I don't care if you black, white, purple, blue, orange, green, or, whatever race or creed you're from.
Yeah.
I think this is the time that diversity is showing you itself front and center.
Yes.
If your business was never diverse, you're going to get diverse now.
How about that? Because you ain't going to have no choice.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to tell you an example of what happened to me today. I went to school for international business, and I stopped paying a school so much money for international business and started doing it for free. Right?
Right.
And the way that I did that is connecting with people in networks in different area codes, different regions, and giving them incentives of how you can better business, evaluate yourself, right?
Right.
I went in the store today. Since this corona happened, I've been going to trying to see if the price index that I've been studying can happen is really happening.
Right.
So, it's been happening, but, it depends on how smart of a shopper you are.
Right.
So, I went north, east, south, east, you name it, Maryland, the whole DMV, except Virginia. But, Virginia could be in Maryland sometimes. But I went to these different stores to see the prices on things. And one thing I noticed, I know they closed my shoppers in certain regions, but they changed the way shoppers' value went in other regions. And the index of things that we would buy for a low-cost budget are now a high-cost budget.
Yes.
And I got angry at myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, you know what, Daniel, maybe you told some people too much about the high call of demand. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, but I was looking at it like, what happened to us as a people united, making sure that opportunities are available in any needs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Any need.
Yes.
And not manipulating it to where certain people that are already on, as they call it, the lower level of the pyramid, you know what I'm saying, still suffer in the long term. You know what I mean? And I took it, I've been a part of so many different organizations where I get things for free, and most of the time it's about me making sure that people are saying that they're doing what they say they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna be the first one in line to get free food as if I could do it any other time of the year. I'm not gonna be so quick to go in the store and buy everything up off the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Because I want people that can't do it to be able to do it. But I realized that if you don't know something, knowledge is always power. And it don't matter. Even a kid that's 5 can teach you something.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because when you was talking about that would capture my attention the most, because we're never too old or too young to learn anything.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because life is a cycle. Sometimes, like, I'm getting a little older. People like, you still young. No, you get old by when your bones and the way you move ain't the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I was going outside, and this kid was like maybe 3 years old or 4 years old. And they didn't know too much. I went out to meet my father, my dad, or whatever, and he was taking me to the store. And I was looking around like, where did he go? And the little kid was watching and said, he gone. I didn't even tell the little kid what I was doing. I was like sitting there thinking, looking around, and he informed me without me even saying nothing, just by my body language. Because kids learn from signs.
Yes.
So they observe you. But make a long story short, I don't want to take up your whole intelligent conversation, but
no,
I'm just saying, we as a people, a unit, a class, because we all, regardless of what color we are, we come from the same line of blood. We all need to, put a focus on so much of putting our own selves down so much or assuming so much instead of just communicating in the correct manner.
You know what? Let me ask you this. So do you this is on my topic today. So do you think that
hold on, let me take my I gotta take, because you're going in and out. So I need to take my internet off. Maybe it'll work. Okay, let me see what you say. I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Yeah, no, I was asking, do you think that we're an endangered species?
When you say we, what are you saying? The color?
Well, I was probably talking more so about the males. The
male, you know what? You are. Let me tell you why.
I want to know.
The males are. You can be, and you not really. I can say yes and no. And the reason why I say yes is because the men are killing each other. Men are killing each other because of jealousy or hate. You know what I mean? Or imprisonment. You know what I'm saying? Or lack of knowledge. Or lack of awareness.
Yeah.
But then again, I can say no, because men have they have this one thing that women don't have. We are emotional, really, really emotional. Women, there's like some women very small that aren't that emotional like me, but I can get emotional behind the scenes. But we're emotional people, and women show their feelings too much. You know what I'm saying? But because they be in their emotions instead of their, because without the man, the woman would have never been formulated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, the men, if you become endangered, well, you're endangered because you've been, separated in the fact that when y'all going off on your own, which you kind of have to isolate yourself like that so you can get a better focus on what's important and not have a distraction. But a real man can't be distracted for no reason. That's how I look at things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But some woman has taken over the lead of, I don't care about a man. I don't care about a man because they're damaged. You know what I'm saying? They've been damaged from a certain era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tired. Some women are just tired. You know what I'm saying? So I understand certain many feelings because I could be that way. So I could be, put myself in the catalyst as a victim and all that. But at the end of the day, I still see the power of the man because I was born from the rib cage. I was created from the rib cage. You know what I'm saying? And without them existing, I don't continue to formulate.
Well, I do.
It's gonna be a bunch of women fighting each other, smacking each other around, and all that. I can't deal with that.
I do know this.
You know, the endangerment is existent, but it's a power in that also. But it's for you guys to realize how much each side need each side. You need a man just as most important as a woman needs the man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It goes 50-50.
Let me say that.
You can't have all women in a bunch because you're going to have a cat fight going on. And you can't have all men in a bunch because you're going to have a war zone.
Yeah. Let me say this. Hold on a minute, Danielle. So, check this out. So, when I say that, and I'm thinking, you're right, you know, we've been damaged, but where we are is we have to sit back and understand what our position is. And we have to be able to do this from both sides. The woman has to let us be in our position, and we have to get in our position. And we have to be able to change the way we've been doing things over the last few years. We've been making a lot of dumb decisions in our households, and it's costing us a lot. It's costing us we don't have many powerful leaders. We don't have a lot of examples for young men to look up to. And so that's why at this point, we're an endangered species, because I'm telling you, how many people do we see that's out there really standing up fighting for equal rights for certain individuals who are struggling, like the poor people who can't make it to the stores? Where are we at right now with that?
Yeah, listen, the way that it's being done is done in a different way. I'm going to say something. I've noticed that some men are doing it to fit the needs of themselves versus the family. Some, I didn't say all, some, it's just very small. But the men that I'm going to say is a lot of men, and I'm going to say this, last caucus I was proud of the men that was of leadership from the men, the men empowerment thing and the women empowerment thing. But I was proud of the men that formulated this coalition over the years to where they're trying to reach out to these younger men and make sure that they don't keep becoming a cycle of incarceration. You know what I'm saying? Like people that was, talking at the art. You know what I'm saying? Sit on the committee to summons at the art. And they was talking about how they've been involved in the jail systems and how they try to pull these men out. But this is the problem. Sometimes, to me, it takes that both equation. That if you're doing it one way on one side, you got to do it on the other side. So if you formulate something that's empowering men, the women thing was already existing. You know what I'm saying? The men thing was too, but it was in a separate phase. I think it's now time to see how we interact together as powerful beings.
Yes. But you know what?
Because they stripped that away out of our nose, which, I don't have a problem with however you live your life. That's your life. God can only judge you on that. But I'm saying if you build a team for something of an essence of substantial living, people reference to church and biblical and spiritual things. If you look back on time, look about the queens and kings of Egypt. Why was their population destroyed? If you look at the Jews, why was their population destroyed? Look at the indigenous people, why was their population destroyed? Look at Asians or Mexicans, why was their population? Because the separation between the family structure.
That is so true.
And I've been studying this thing for so long because it affected me to become a strong, independent woman, and some men can't take that. Some men can, and they try to use it as, a pimping type structure, but I'm a madam if you want to go there.
No, I don't want to go there.
Because I was raised around a diverse culture.
You know what?
The woman can teach the men can teach the women, but in a certain role.
Well, you know what, Danielle, right? Danielle. I don't know why I keep saying Danielle. Danielle.
In some places it's Daniel, but it's still Danielle. It can be versatile.
Well, let me say this. What I do know is this. We are, right now, it is imperative that men start to get their position back inside the household where they are playing their parts and doing their roles. and the women have to allow us to get back into that role.
That's true.
And
That's true.
so
I agree with you.
So
women can't continue to say, "Oh, he's not taking care of his kids, so he ain't paying his kids."
Well, see that's a trick.
You cannot. You didn't have that sperm inserted in you on your own. You
Right.
needed that sperm, so
Yes.
you can't. That's still a right. If I was to put that in front, if I was a judge, I would take a lot of this. You paying into child support system, and sometimes some women need to pay in. You looking good and your child ain't looking good. It's a problem with that, and you on Section 8. It's a problem to me with that.
That's why you know what we need.
That's what I understand. That needs to happen. Women do need to be like, you know what? I need that break. Go with your father. Or I need that break. Let me get my break and let the man be a man. But not let him control you and you love that control and you getting your butt whipped and you think that's cool. No, not that way. Give the men the power to be a man and be a leader, but also for the men to understand that women can be leaders too, because when you fall short, we're supposed to be able to pick you up.
That's right. Hey, with that said, Miss Danielle, hey, thank you, Danielle. Hey, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for calling in. You a dog baby.
It was a pleasure talking with you, sir.
My pleasure as well.
You have a great evening, sir.
You too. Let me see. That's so true. Okay, so absolutely. But I said that's so true. The more men to stand up and strong. You know, so Danielle, she was hitting a lot of points, and believe it or not, you know, it's on both sides. When I'm speaking in reference to us being an endangered species, you know, it's got to be a lot of us that got to change the way we're functioning and the way we're going about training our offspring, being there to show that we're providers, bringing respect back into the homes where, you know, the women are not trying to raise boys and teach them how to stand up like a man when they're women, and the men are not trying to raise the females to teach them how to curtsy when, you know, they supposed to be standing upright, the men. So with all that said, I know we went over, and I just want to let you know I appreciate Miss Danielle calling in. That's what I like. I like to hear other people's perspective. That's what it's talk. It's real talk. It ain't just me all the time. I want to hear from you. Hey, remember to go to YouTube. Hey, subscribe. Kathy Johnson, Zarit, Murray Cross, Jean McBride. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you tuned in. Remember, this is real talk. People to people. Power to power. Power to think people. I try to keep it at a minimum, but sometimes it just do what it do, and, you know, I love it. I can't wait till we get to the point where we're going to have the couch where we can sit down and I'm going to bring different people in like Miss Danielle. I want them people to come in and got that energy inside them and they can give us some positive information. I love that. I thank you again, Miss Danielle. I love Miss Rachel Pope because she's a queen who's always getting that positive energy and putting it out and sharing information. And I love all of you that tune in. Please, please go to YouTube, subscribe. You don't have to watch the videos all the way. I wish you would. Pick a few. I think you'll learn something. All you got to do is hit subscribe, like, and let's keep it moving. Kimmy Kim, if you're still on, I really want to get you. You got something all up in that head of yours that I want to share with some people. I thank everybody for tuning in again. Be safe, stay focused, and remember, okay, if they opening up all this stuff, be careful. Keep the gloves on. Take the mask with you. Observe the people around you, and make sure that you don't bring nothing back home to your loved ones. This is Real Talk, Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, power to think people. Guess what? God loves you, and so do I.